All right. So for the we're going to learn about the test point method, which is another way to figure out if you shade above or below. So basically, um, in this case, what you do is you replace an inequality with the equal symbol, right? And you graph. Okay. Same thing with the solid line or dash line, and then select any point that's not on the line. So just pick any coordinates. Yeah, and I would get one with simple coordinates, one that is easy to plug in, easy to evaluate, and then check whether the point satisfies, like we did on the first example in the video. So check whether it satisfies. If it does, then shade the region containing the test point. If it doesn't, then shade the other region, right? So in other words, if you pick a point above and it works, then you shade above. If you pick a point below and it works, then you shade below. But if you pick a point above and it doesn't work, then you shade below instead. And if you pick a point below and it doesn't work, you shade above. All right, so let's take a look at it. And this is if you maybe you're on a test and you can't remember the rules, just pick a test point, right? All right, so here we go. So number 41, 3x minus 4y is greater than negative 12. So first of all, I'm just gonna switch the inequality to an equal sign. Okay, and so I'm just going to I want to get the y by itself, so I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. So I end up with negative 4y equals negative 3x minus 12. Divide by negative 4. So you get y equals 3/4 x plus 3, right? Okay. So now I can plot this line. And so the y-intercept is 3. So I'm going to put a 3, or I'm going to plot a point on 3 on the y-axis. And then the slope is 3/4. So I'm going to use that to find another point. So I'm going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and over 4 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's my other point. Okay. Now going back, so now that I have it graphed, I can go back to the original and I can look at the inequality. It's a less than, no or equal to, so it's going to be dashed. Okay, so I can draw a dashed line here. All right, and then, so in order to check if we shade above or below, instead of keeping the inequality in there, which we could have done, we want to check a test point. So I want to check any point above or below. Now, I would say the easiest points are going to involve zeros and ones, right? So if the origin's not on the line, I would say pick the origin, right? So I'm going to pick 0, 0 as my test point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in 0, 0 to the original equation, right? Remember the original equation is 3x minus 4. The original inequality, I should say. 3x minus 4y is greater than negative 12. So I'm going to plug in 0 for x and y, right? So basically, I'm asking, does 3 times 0 minus 4 times 0, is that greater than negative 12? So basically we have 0 minus 0, which is 0. Is that greater than negative 12? And the answer is, yes it is, right? So that means we shade where this point is, right? So if that satisfies the inequality, that means that point is part of the region that we want to shade, right? So we're going to shade everything below because our test point was below. Okay. All right. If it wasn't true, then we would shade on the other side of the line from the test point. All right. So that's how to use the test point method. So you can use that if you forget the rules about above and below and all that. Okay. And also notice that even though we divided by a negative, since we have an equal sign here, we didn't have to worry about flipping the sign. So that's another thing, is it kind of, you don't have to worry about flipping the sign around and things like that when you're solving. All right. Let me know if you have any questions. Either bring them to class or email me or text me on the Google Voice.